Hi, my name is Coach Paige. I am a certified personal trainer and yoga therapist. I operate out of a subcontracted or sublease space in Scottsdale off of Shea and the 101. I specialize in working with people one on one. I build customized programs for these individuals to help be a bridge between rehabilitation and then moving kind of back into normal life and also and wanting to get back to possibly lifting weights or just doing sports. Um, so that is what I've been working toward over the last pretty much 11 years. My training background, as far as being a personal trainer, was based on functional training. So I was fortunate that when I started, I learned a little bit more about actually how the body works through a biomechanic lens. I learned early on about the right shoulder to left hip sort of cross patterning connection. So I've always developed programs and workouts that were very synergistic to this being kind of the number one priority, is making sure that the movement patterns were efficient. So the reason why I mention this too is because I'm not a personal trainer that is interested in aesthetics. I don't work with people that are just looking to gain muscle so that they look pretty in the mirror, or possibly even sign up for some sort of bodybuilding competition. That's definitely not my forte. In some circles, they call that bro lifting. That's definitely not what I do. I definitely use strength training, resistance training, those sort of strength and conditioning protocols to help you perform at your best. So if you are someone that has played a sport, even if you're just somebody who enjoys recreational tennis with friends, this is something that can keep you out on the court for a lot longer. Something that I see a lot in my yoga community is that many people also just sometimes stick to doing one thing, and they always look to that one thing for a solution. So my goal with my patients and clients is to educate them on having a large movement bandwidth, and knowing that just doing one thing all the time isn't always the solution. And a good example that I might use, or one that might make sense for everyone or seem kind of logical, is that if we know that oranges are good for us, they've got vitamin C, they're fruit, it's citrus, it's definitely good for the body. But if I only ate oranges all the time, every day for 30 days, am I missing out on other nutrients that my body might need, such as protein, such as vitamin K, or, and I think you get the picture. So trying to educate people that, if you sit at a desk all day long and that's all you do, and then you come home and you sit on the couch and watch TV, and then you sit in your car to go get dinner and to go sit down and eat with friends, it's obvious that you're just not getting sort of the pendulum of movement generally. And so that's where the programs and the customized one-on-one coaching comes. And with that, because I've worked with people that have never had coaches. I've worked with people that never really even had somebody really watch their movement patterns to know if things are going well. So one thing we see often in physical therapy, since I mentioned rehab prior, is people are given physical therapy exercises, and then nobody really watches them to make sure that they are doing them correct. Sometimes they're given as homework and people think they're doing them right. And sometimes things, we could definitely do better. Sometimes it's not just about doing 20 reps of abduction, coming off of maybe a hip replacement. Sometimes we know that load and resistance actually helps the muscle chains activate a little bit, quote, better, okay? In that, I call it the Goldilocks syndrome. Somebody who might be a little bit, quote, hypermobile or have very mobile joints already, they actually might benefit from doing resistance training. They might need stability to create that reactive response. And in this case, there might be reactive stabilization in another part of that kinetic chain. So that's where sometimes I'd argue that isolated abduction may not be the solution, or maybe it's the solution for a little while, but maybe it needs to be coupled with that movement pattern of, quote, hip abduction through the gait cycle or something like that. So hopefully that gives you a little bit better idea of what I do. I do tend to work with people for a minimum of 3 months at a time. It is what I call a little bit more of the playing the long game, trying to get people away from quick fix band-aid solutions. You know, and it's also about knowing that, like, it's not my responsibility to take away your pain, that a part of this process is always going to involve you as the person as well too, that you have to take an active role in participating in stepping towards these you know, goals or things that you want to achieve, or ways in which that you want to feel. So if you don't want to feel like you're avoiding certain things in your life because this hurts, or you know, whatever that is. So hopefully that gives you, like I said, a little bit more idea of what I do. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I will be sure to include all my information again, so that you, if you need to refer someone to me, you can. I will just say lastly that I am trying to really trying to hone in on my .com speaking the way I just spoke to you, clarifying my message to my audience through my different platforms, and the different ways we can market ourselves. So a lot of that's pretty much, I wish I could just put up a big sign that says under construction. And so like I said, I'm in the Scottsdale area, but I also do work remotely. I do also offer virtual based options for individuals too. So even if you like, I still have several people that I work with out of the East Valley, most of which is done sort of in an online platform, and I can go into more detail about that if anybody again has any questions. So thanks for listening. I'm open for critique and feedback as well too. Again, it's Coach Paige, and I look forward to meeting all of you.